Good residents of Lake Worth Beach, I come before you today in the midst of one of our generation's greatest tests. I do not ask you to man a castle or to charge into battle, but to close your door, sit on your couch, and be patient. By now, you are assuredly aware of the seriousness of the situation. Like every city and state and country around the world, COVID-19 is a very real and immediate threat to our city and to our very way of life. There are no quick and simple answers, and it's easy to let fear fill the void of the unknown. Yet there are things that I do know. First, I know that we can face this. My staff are leaders in their fields, and they're doing their jobs admirably. Second, this will not be a quick crisis, but through this time, we will become closer as a community, and we're going to help one another. And finally, as a community, we are resilient and we are prepared. Every day, my team and I are in regular contact with the county, the state, and federal partners, ensuring we stay informed and share best practices. A month ago, our country began ramping up its response to the COVID-19 pandemic. While government at all levels had emergency management structures in place, responding to this pandemic has required public servants at every level of government to work around the clock to develop a response. My team has faced an overwhelming number of decisions with a multitude of unforeseeable consequences, and each decision has been guided by our core mission as a city: to improve people's lives for the better. In any emergency, there are disagreements on whether we're doing too much or too little, moving too fast or moving too slow. Regardless, I can promise you that no decision is made lightly, and our team does not shy away from thinking outside the box to limit any negative consequences from a decision, whether it's made at a city level or even above that. At this time, Palm Beach County is beginning to test specific population groups for the virus and is leading the local effort to provide time for the necessary medical infrastructure to be implemented. This action has invoked the closing of all non-critical businesses, parks, golf courses, beaches. It also includes the stay-at-home, stay safe order to encourage you to stay home. Our state government is working to ensure supply chains remain open and that we receive the assistance we require. And the federal government is developing an economic recovery package while also repurposing many of our national manufacturing facilities to produce the necessary medical equipment to fight this virus. For our part, we all must work to flatten the curve by following the advice of experts and social distancing. We can all slow the spread of the virus long enough that the medical facilities can avoid being overrun like has happened elsewhere around the world. I know this is not easy, as it requires us all to limit many of the activities we would normally rely on to get us through a crisis. We have to isolate ourselves rather than come together. We must look at our windows at a world that pretty much looks normal and trust that there is an unknown threat. And most of all, we must take immediate and definitive action by resisting the urge to take action and instead staying in, staying isolated, and keeping calm. In any emergency, the life, safety, and welfare of our citizens are always our top priority. The safety of you, your family, and your home are the responsibility of our fine men and women at PBSO District 14. Sheriff Bradshaw, as the Chief Law Enforcement Officer for the county, is providing direction and resources. This is not just for Lake Worth Beach's response, but we are an integral part of the entire county's response. A warning to anyone taking advantage of the current circumstances and committing crime: you will be caught and you will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Our partners at Palm Beach County Fire Rescue work day and night in Lake Worth Beach, providing emergency medical services and, of course, fire protection. And like the Sheriff's Office, we benefit from their countywide perspective and the tremendous amount of resources to confront any issue. As a citizen in Lake Worth Beach, you have access to the very best emergency medical services, and the dedicated men and women in our fire stations stand ready to help. Our electric utility and water utility are ensuring everyone's power stays on, the water is clean, safe, and keeps flowing, and our sewer continues to flow. On that last note, I must remind you to help keep the sewer flowing by not flushing your disinfectant wipes, please. Our public works team has been working around the clock to keep the streets clean and to ensure that everyone's garbage and recycling is collected. Please continue to place out your garbage and recycling according to your regular schedule. Our leisure services team is providing some really neat things. They've got online story time, online recreation and wellness sessions, and they're working to keep everyone healthy and happy during isolation. In collaboration with all the city departments, we have digitized as many city functions as possible. Lake Worth Beach now has made it possible to submit a building permit, schedule an inspection, and have that inspection entirely online. We were the first city to implement new measures to make commission meetings fully virtual and still provide the ability for residents to have their say through public comment. Our website is not only one of the most up-to-date information sources in the county, but many of our recent developments are being shared with other cities to help them provide a new normal for their residents in the time of COVID-19. The city team recognizes and are sensitive to the hard truth that many of our residents will face economic difficulty even after the pandemic has passed. Through mutual collaboration and inclusion of city staff and the business community, we are actively devising an economic recovery response that will allow us all to regain our footing, restart the local economy, and put people back to work. City staff are working around the clock to respond to the regular changes that have an effect on our business community. When Governor DeSantis closed restaurants to limit customer interactions for the sake of social distancing, Lake Worth Beach redesigned our parking in the downtown to provide all restaurants the opportunity to stay open and offer pickup as an option. When our beach was ordered closed, we secured an exemption to allow the restaurants at the beach to continue serving their delivery and curbside pickup. Our webmaster has developed an interactive online database, which will be populated with the information of local businesses so that together we can easily find and support those businesses to help them weather this really difficult time. Finally, leading by example, we have reached out to our local landlords and asked them to join us in developing a responsible and compassionate plan to allow flexibility for tenants at this time. Our residents have put their famous Lake Worth Beach creativity to use to help the face of the crisis. Last week, residents in College Park made national news when they organized a toy animal safari through their neighborhood for children to visit in their cars. Other residents have turned to the internet to provide online painting, cooking, craft, and fitness classes online. Others are fundraising to help with food and the needs of our less fortunate. And even the Little Free Library volunteers have ensured that each of our over 100 Little Free Libraries will be fully stocked for those who wish to find a new literary adventure at this time. I want to thank the members of your commission who have been utilizing their special skill sets to help reach and support residents. Last week, Vice Mayor Pro Tem Scott Maxwell canvassed the city to ensure that all of our residents received vital information about COVID-19 in their native language, in English, Spanish, and Creole. This week, Vice Mayor Amoroso will be helping coordinate food distribution in conjunction with the CRA. Commissioner Hardy has also been volunteering with food distribution and the needs of the less fortunate. Commissioner Robinson is helping locate and assist seniors throughout the city to make sure they're getting the food and any assistance that they need. And along with the day-to-day coordination with city staff, I've been working with our business community to make sure we find ways to keep them in business and their staff employed. The Commission cares about Lake Worth Beach, and we know that together we are stronger and we're going to be better able to handle this challenge. We're a diverse community, and we come from many different walks of life. In a crisis, though, we come together as friends, families, and neighbors. We have faced hurricanes, economic disasters, and even zombies. And we have always recovered, and we've always come back stronger. Even if we can't get together for a beach bonfire or a floughing tournament or physically staying away from each other right now, is truly the best way that we can be there for one another. I know that together we will face whatever happens, and the strength of our community will not fail us. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe, stay home, and wash your hands.